no, sorry. The gentleman right behind you. Sorry, I'll have you next. My bad.
Something I find very unique about this particular genre is that it's early modern rather than medieval, which kind of dominates the genre. And so I've always seen a little bit of Renaissance fantasy in the Cimmerian. And so I wonder if this war is almost a nod to, in a brief way, the 30 Years' War. There's a religious element to it, like if this is an invading Protestant army.
Got it. So for those of you who can hear in the back, he was asking about the influences, whether because of the setting of the book, the time period, if there was some 30 Years' War, religious warfare going on in this world. I took a lot of influences. I didn't want the Cromerian to straight up be the big bad Catholic Church, so corrupt, stepping on everyone. I was looking to blend a number of. That's a large, even a dominant influence in the building of Cromeria. But I took from numerous religious traditions to build this and tried to strip away things that were too obviously. For the cast list, the characters, naming the characters, I went through and I looked at the Mediterranean world. I had definite places where I was drawing certain names from, and then I look at lists of names from the 16th century, 17th century, and I would strip out all the religious names. Be like, I'm not picking any Muhammads. There's going to be no Marys, Muhammads, any of those in here, but I'll take other names that work. And I did a similar sort of thing. So one of the initial thoughts about the prism was I'm taking that from the time of the shoguns, which was also early 1600s. And how do you keep an emperor busy with religious duties? So you just have him chock full. His schedule, he's doing religious duties morning to night, every day of the week. It's so important that you be that. You're wonderful. We'll just handle governing this little country for you so you can do the important stuff. So I sort of took these different elements, and then absolutely I wanted to have there be religious impetus to the conflict, though, and people understanding their world in an Aristotelian way, their physics differently, so their metaphysics differently, and then their politics are going to flow differently out of that, obviously. I don't like directly mapping things over. Like here's the 30 Years' War. Here's some cool stuff that happened during that. I'm going to put all those things in there. But when I do read history, I go, that's a cool thing. That's amazing, and that really happened. And then I'll work that stuff in sort of a more indirect route. Actually, you, sir, I may sit down and I feel terrible. So go ahead.
When I was introduced to this book, or series, back in 2011 or whatever, I was completely struck by how different the kind of magic this is from any other series I've ever read. And I couldn't, just wondering, like, what was it that gave you that idea? And also, what would you see yourself
He asked about how did I come up with the magic system? What gave me the idea for this kind of unique system, and what would I draft? I wanted to do something that was different. I wanted to do something that was somewhat based in physics. So the first thing that I could think of, because I knew I have this tendency to make complicated things. I try. I wanted to have something that, if I had like 7 different schools of magic, just to go super standard, you got all these schools of magic. How do you make that simple? How do you make that so that people can grasp it? And I thought, nobody's done colors for a long time. So I started with this thing. I'll do colors. I'll do color magic. And then because you say somebody's doing green magic, oh well, that's wild. Oh, okay, I kind of get it. Readers have an immediate hook. Oh, blue, that's kind of peaceful. Okay, I get it. Red, that's passionate. Got it. So readers can very easily remember the system. Then I just started layering stuff on top of it. Like, okay, so let's give this the initial thing, which many of you probably have heard me say, is I thought what if we could do a candle but backwards? Like a candle, you have stuff, and something magical that we don't really, most of us who aren't chemists don't really understand happens when you burn a candle, and stuff turns into light. Cool. Well, let's run that backwards. Let's take light and there's light everywhere. Let's turn that into stuff. And then I just started asking questions. Okay, so each different color is gonna have its own physical properties. That's gonna have medical properties. It's gonna have weight, and it's gonna have this. It's gonna have that. It's gonna affect you these ways. So I just started layering these things, and it worked really nicely. All the trouble with making really complicated systems and having a high magic world is that you always have the possibility, the strong likelihood that readers are going to point out things that you missed, because the more magic you have in the world, the more applications there are for it. So I'm just sure that there's some devastating mistake that I've made, and I kind of had to make my peace with the possibility of that being there all along. I've been able to fudge a few ways. Should I even tell you one of the ways I fudge? Well, that just shatters the whole. I'm hearing yes and no. Well, I can fudge by like, okay, this guy's got so many things he can do. He can't think of all those things in the moment. Like you're attacking him. He's got 1 second to respond. He's not going to think of thing 14 to do. He's just going to think one thing. So Kim is going to default to green, which I think does make sense. So in some ways, I narrow the list of possible errors I can make, and then mostly I just have to be more creative than readers. But like readers are just sitting there; they have like 1 minute as they read a thing to come up with something smart, and I have years. That's why I do 3 years. Something smart. Sometimes it takes me a long time. So that layering is kind of what I wanted to do. And of course, then right before the book came out, I was like 3/4 of the way done. Hadn't seen color magic done for 20 years or something. Sanderson publishes Color Magic right before me. Hey, Brandon Sanderson. Next question. Yes, sir.
Thematically, the Night Angel series and the Light Bringer series have a lot in common. Mm-hmm. Is there any point in your head, or is there any point in the future where those universes are going to connect?
So here's I really should have thought about how I was going to answer this, because I knew I was going to get this question. But there's 2 different ways I can answer this: when lying or telling the truth. One of the ways is I want to, like when I say I give you this book, I really mean it. Like it kind of, that's a real world example that will go on Facebook. Don't want to use that one. It kind of drives me nuts when the author comes years later and tells you what the book means. I hate that. You had your time with the book. You wrote it. If you wanted that in there, put it in there. Now it's mine. Get your grubby paws off it. So I kind of think that way of I have it. Now you take it. Like I don't like reader asks you, hey, is this an analogy for politician X or Y? Yes, it is. What? You just ruin things in some ways to me, and you've made the work be like good for 8 years at the most, right? And like, oh yeah, that was all about how terrible Reagan was. Thanks. Like instead, it's like if you just have a leader and you're like, this is what this leader is, then the fictional thing stands apart and it becomes better and it becomes timeless. So I want to give you the power to figure out what things connect to what and make those connections yourself. I don't want somebody to walk up to you and say, oh, you're all wrong with how you did that. But the author said, blah, blah, blah. That to me destroys some of the beauty of co-creation. Like when I write this story, you don't actually see what's in my head. I put something on the page, I hand the pages to you, and you read it, and you have to put it together. And so that's why some readers can read a story and they make it amazing because they have all these great ways that it works. And other readers read it and they're just like, well, I wasn't really paying attention and it didn't really work for me, it didn't do anything for me. So I give it to you, and I want you to bring it to life. So I don't like to comment on things that are outside of what. I mean, I'll tell you if I'm working on a book that's doing that or something, but I like to leave the power in your hands. That
Yes, very much.
makes sense. Okay, yes, sir. In the mid back, you.
So you took my original question, already answered it. I was going to ask you how many books are in your next series, in your next trilogy. Characters that you really like, that were like, not that you really like, but that readers really like that you didn't expect. That you like as much.
Were the characters that readers really liked that I didn't expect them to like? I'm always surprised when you don't like characters. that sounds terrible, but it's kind of true. No. I mean, I've had one particular fan who keeps asking me to write a story from the point of view of a very, very minor character in the Night Angel series. So that surprised me. A little girl named Blue. Most of you probably don't even remember her. See, so okay, see if she. I mean, she's not that great. Yes. Now I'm just committing myself. What have I done? This is why they don't let me out of my hobbit hole. You're gonna commit yourself to 3 books or 12. Yeah. So was there another part of that question? Because I got lots in my head. Yes.
So I want to know too, what would you draft?
Oh, what would I draft? Yeah, sorry. What would I draft? I mean, I would like it to be one of the cooler colors, but the truth is probably orange, probably a little slippery. I'd lie to your face about what colors he drafts. While secretly hurting you. Yeah, probably orange though. Yeah. Yes. You first, then you.
Awesome character. I don't want to like him. I love him. I don't know where you got your inspiration for characters like that. And I also like the quirks of the characters, like Keith and Murder Shark, or hits like body individuals. Where do you got your inspiration for that stuff?
You know, I hadn't thought of it until just now, so this might not even be true. But like, I was like, do I have teeth problems? And then I realized I do have teeth. You know, Murder Shark, he collects teeth. It's really weird. That's this really strange thing with teeth. And I realized that one day I was sitting in the dentist's office, and I was maybe like 20 years old or something. And they were doing work on my teeth, and redheads have this interesting thing with pain and numbness. Some things work, some things hurt more. Anyway, whatever they'd given me didn't really work. And so it was drilling right on a nerve or something. And I thought this was normal. And I realized in the dentist's chair, I can't go be a super spy. I would just melt under torture. I'm a big weenie. And so I've been bitter ever since, I guess. Because I haven't really gotten over that. So that's where I got that.